When you're younger, you tend to become enraptured by so many things as you become more open to the world around you and the possibilities that lie within. Every kid has a dream of what it is they want to be and do when they grow up, and oftentimes those interests become nothing more than a fleeting hobby that's eventually left behind. But for many of us, there is typically one thing we end up becoming attached to more than the others. Maybe it's an interest in sports, in art, or maybe it's music. The sound of the piano that fills your heart with a joy that can't be replicated, and the ability to create those melodies that fills you full of wonder and joy, so much so that it feels as though every time your fingertips touch those keys, you are transported to a world of wonder unlike any other. That feeling was something a girl from Otonokizaka High School knew all too well. A feeling that seemed to have faded from her heart and her wings that allowed her to fly taken away from her. But it took someone stuck on the ground to give them back. Sakurauchi Riko is one of the most vital characters to the story of Love Live Sunshine, yet while I feel that people acknowledge this, I don't think they understand how or why. Considering most of the discussion surrounds her relationship with Chika and Yo, and to the chagrin of some with the Datenshi herself, it's safe to assume that Riko is a pretty divisive character for those who focus on the shipping aspect. But what makes Riko so interesting is the fact that she came from the school that once housed a miracle that changed the world, yet was unaware that such a thing ever existed. She was, after all, only focused on her piano. But the Riko we see at the beginning of Sunshine is so desperate to find those wings again that she was willing to jump headfirst into the ocean despite the danger that could befall her. A lost soul desperate for a shine. A shine she found when the normal monster introduced her to the legendary 9. From that point forth, we see her at the center of the events of Sunshine, and I feel that to understand not just the series, but the other two members of the core 3 that created Aqua's second wave, we have to look at the miracle who flew in from the very heart of Love Live itself. To understand the relationship between her and the fallen angel Yohane. To understand Watanabe Yo's desire to follow after the one who was able to see the world for how bright it was. To understand the meaning of Takumi Chika's journey to change 0 to 1. And to understand how this tiny group from a town no one cares about were able to shine brighter than anyone else. I think it's best that we jump right in. This is Sakurauchi Riko, the miracle that changed the destiny of Urano Hoshi. Being that she's the only one from the city, Riko at the start of the show is out of her element when it came to the behavior of the other members of Aqua. Considering that they're all basically from the countryside and 2 of them are omega weirdos, the only one even relatively normal in the sense of city life sensibilities is Yo. But Riko isn't without her own little quirks. She starts off the series terrified to death of dogs to the point that she would rather jump out of a building than get close to one. She also is a little into the gays and likes reading Yuri dojins and is just extreme in the strangest ways. So it's funny to see the irony in how she calls the rest of Aqua out on their strange behavior. Honestly, it's like super freaking cute. Otherwise, she is kind and is fairly reserved, but this also causes a bit of a confidence problem for her, especially when it comes to failure. And when we're introduced to her, that failure is what weighs her down the most. Riko, coming from Otonokizaka, the school that housed the legendary 9 who changed the world, yet not knowing anything about school idols says more about how focused she was on the piano. The fact that the student that Aqua would eventually meet at Otonokizaka knew that school idols frequently came to see the remains of what Muse left behind is more than proof of this. I mean, Riko having such a focus on piano shows how much she loved it, how much it filled every part of her heart. Even more important is that same love fading away by the time Chika meets her on the beach. The piano that she loved and dedicated her life to suddenly became distant from her when she panicked in a piano competition and was unable to play a single note. This was shocking to say the least, especially considering how many awards she won from competitions like this before, and the shock was so great that Riko couldn't touch the piano again. So her mother decided to transfer her to a small town by the sea to help her with her goal to compose a piece that reflected the sound of the waves. As she says to Chika when she first meets her, she thought that maybe jumping into the water was her way of being able to see it. But of course, that wouldn't work out. When diving into the ocean, the sea appears bottomless and full of darkness. It's unknown what lies beyond your field of vision, and there's no sound to be heard. This is probably the best metaphor to describe the mindset that Riko has. She's quick to overthink everything, and despite the talent that Chika praises her for, she has no confidence in herself. Because even though she had that talent, it was worthless because she couldn't play in the end. Maybe it was because of her confidence, but I think it's also because it just stopped being fun for her. Having those expectations is likely to weigh on the shoulders of anyone. But more importantly, Riko was alone on that stage when she walked up to play. No one to pull her out of the dark.
変わるよ、きっと。簡単に言わないでよ。分かってるよ。でも、そんな気がする。変な人ね、あなた。とにかく、スクールアイドルなんてやってる暇はないの。ごめんね。分かった。じゃあ、海の音だけ聞きに行ってみようよ。スクールアイドル関係なしに。え？ならいいでしょ？ほんと、変な人。
There are a number of things you have to talk about when it comes to Riko and how she eventually changes throughout the course of the series, and the best way to see this is by looking at the major relationships she forms. In her relationship with Chika, it was the first hand that reached out to that girl who was trapped in the dark. Simply by having someone believe in her and her talent, Riko gained a glimmer of the hope that she could go back to playing. In fact, it's this relationship that forms the groundwork for how we come to understand all aspects of the lessons Riko learns. But to get there, I feel that we first need to look at a different relationship that many don't seem to understand.
このヨハネの打天使としての闇能力をもってすれば、その程度造作もないことです。そう、造作もないことです。
While outwardly appearing to just be a random filler episode dedicated to fulfilling a fan's ship, something I've always found interesting about Yohane is the concept of the belief in the unknown. Being that her character is defined by her chunibyo, you would think that she, like Datenshi Riko or other characters of this archetype, actually believes in demons, angels, and other weird things. But as revealed in episode 5 of season 2, she's well aware that not only is what she's doing embarrassing, but also that the things she clings to, her fantasies, and even the fallen angel are all not real. They're so obviously nothing but a delusion. But as Yohane says in that same episode, she wants to believe something like that exists. The idea that people have this power within them that not only gives them strength, but also draws others to one another is something that makes this world not only more interesting, but gives her hope. And similar to Riko with her piano, Yohane has those things inside her that made her feel special and thus desperately wanted to make them real.
打天使っていると思う？え？私さ、小さい頃からすっごい運が悪かったの。外に出ればいつも雨に降られるし、転ぶし、何しても自分だけうまくいかないし。それで思ったの。きっと私が特別だから見えない力が働いているんだって。それで打天使？もちろん打天使なんているはずないって、それはもうなんとなく感じている。クラスじゃ言わないようにしているし。でもさ、本当にそういうの全くないのかなって。運命とか見えない力とか。そんな時出会ったの。何か見えない力で引き寄せられるようだった。これは絶対偶然じゃなくて何かに導かれてるんだって、そう思った。不思議な力が働いたんだって。
What Riko relates to is having that something special. For her, it was the piano that made her feel like she was flying, yet also that same piano that she lost faith in when she couldn't play it. But it was through that passion that she connected with Chika and Yo that brought her into Aqua and gave her that hope and love right back. It was in being a school idol that she was able to have faith in not just herself, but in others around her that she changed and in turn was changed by, and thus faith in the unknown comes to the forefront when considering the journey that Riko goes through. Because what started her journey was that fear of failure and loss of faith in her own talents. The reason she couldn't play was because she put too much of a burden on herself and didn't believe that she could keep going. The world lost its shine. But someone like Yohane was able to believe in something that was obviously not real, and chose of her own volition to believe that not just this world, but that she was special. That she hoped that she was special. And in Chika, this completely average girl with no shine of her own, she saw a person full of sparkle in her eyes that saw the world as blinding, a world that seemed dark to Riko who was looking down, mirrored in the scene when she, Chika, and Yo dived into the water searching for the sound of the waves. Riko was only looking down into the dark abyss, unable to hear anything, but it was Chika and Yo who tapped her shoulder and told her to look up. And when she did, all she saw was light, and the sound of the waves filled her ears. And in this view, we see what Chika does, mirrored in the first scene of season 2. She's surrounded by dark, yet she sees the light that she just can't reach. This direct contrast exists between these two, and thus for one to succeed, they need to push the other. And even more interesting is the song that Chika tells Riko to listen to, Yume no Tobira, a song that has the following lyrics. The door to our dreams, I've always been searching for it. I've been searching for a connection between you and me. And thus, a second part of what we need to understand about Riko is found within this song, the need for connection. And for this, we need to look at the third member of the original trio that brought along Aqua's second wave. A big part of Yo's conflict is the growing relationship between Riko and Chika that seemed to be pushing that childhood friend out of the picture. Yo wanted to be by Chika's side. It's the whole reason she helped her form Aqua in the first place. But as I said in the Yo video, you can't fully understand Yo without understanding Riko, and thus the reverse is true. Riko was always alone her whole life, especially on stage when she played the piano she was so proud of. In this, a similar case can be seen in Yo, because even though she's shown in the swimming club and was surrounded by admirers, she still felt alone, because her best friend wasn't there by her side. That's why when Riko went into the water to listen to the sound of the waves, it wasn't just Chika who pointed up, but also Yo. It was the three of them who heard that sound together, and the three of them who formed the core. And it's really for one major reason. Both Riko and Yo were chasing after the normal monster who showed them that the world could be this bright, who showed her the door to a dream they didn't think was possible. They both were inspired by Chika and wanted to be the support that she needed because she was able to help them in ways they couldn't even imagine. That Chika didn't even believe that she did. Chika believed in them when they didn't. But because Yo helped Chika make the first step into making Aqua, Chika was able to reach out to Riko and save her from the dark. They shared an understanding that's evident in scenes when Riko sees Yo and Chika talking together and opts to just watch from afar. That's why when Yo is down, it's Riko who tells Yo what Chika really felt. Their relationship with Chika is different, and Riko realizes this and lets them talk in that way that only the two of them could. It's also why Riko points out, during the performance of Omoide Hitotsu ni Nare, that Yo should dance not like her, but only in the way Yo could. To be by Chika's side only how she could. And even more prominent is that the song's backing track is actually the same composition as Umi ni Karumono, the song that Riko was able to compose because she came to Uchiura and found the sound of the waves that saved her love of piano, the song that means those who return to the sea, that she found because of the connection she made with Chika and Yo, the song whose lyrics read, "Let our feelings become one. In this moment they join as one. This is the moment we've been waiting for." So we have themes of faith as well as connection, two ideas that seem separate, but as we see throughout the story, we realize something. The faith in the power that connects others that lies within every person is inherently tied to the ability to connect with others. It's believed that the world is connected that allowed Riko to move out of the darkness and into the light. It's the connection with others that allowed her to reach out for their hands even if they might not fully reach. But above all of this is the first connection that changed her to the core. Because Takumi Chika is the most important person in understanding who Riko is. And when combining the themes of belief and of connection, we see that in the essence of a school idol that Riko was able to find the light. It was through witnessing Chika's eyes full of light that Riko started to gain hope in herself. And when Chika finally stopped trying to reach out to Riko solely because she needed a composer, but with that sincere desire to see her regain her shine, that was when Riko finally was able to see just how serious Chika was. And it was in this moment we see why Riko was so initially against being a school idol. Not because she was embarrassed or because Chika was annoying, but simply because that love for the piano was still in her heart. And abandoning it to be a school idol felt like betrayal, leaving behind that which she loved. But as Chika put it,
やってみない？スクールアイドル。
ダメよ。このままピアノを諦めるわけには。
やってみて、笑顔になれたら、変われたらまた弾けばいい。諦めることないよ。
失礼だよ。本気でやろうとしている高見さんに、そんな気持ちで、そんなの失礼だよ。
リコちゃんの力になれるなら、私は嬉しい。みんなを笑顔にするのがスクールアイドルだもん。チカちゃん！それってとっても素敵なことだよ。
What Chika offered her wasn't a way to run away from what she loved, but it was a chance to regain that feeling from somewhere else. If being a school idol and having fun on stage was enough to ignite the spark in Riko's heart, that was more than enough for Chika. And when becoming Aqua, practicing as hard as she could and even facing failure after failure, yet having fun and pushing through all the same, it was through meeting the other members of Aqua, through making music that she and those friends danced along to, and through gaining the support of the 10th idol that Riko regained that feeling once again. To be a school idol is to do something as someone who views themselves as normal that allows you to shine. But more importantly, it gives you a way to regain the feeling of love that you have, as well as a hope that you can do anything you set your mind on. Riko's problem was that she always overthought everything. One failure was enough to make her lose hope in her own abilities. But in seeing the normal monster fail and fail and fail, yet get back up and try her best despite how worthless she believed she was, how could Riko feel that way herself? How could Riko not believe that she was special? She could believe in her own abilities because there was someone who acknowledged the light that was trapped within her, that believed in her when she didn't. The fear of failure that she felt alone on that stage when she lost the ability to play vanished and was replaced with the hearts of every single member of Aqua who is now walking side by side with her. Best represented in this is the performance of the aforementioned Omoide Hitotsu ni Nare. After hearing that Riko hadn't offered to compete at a piano competition, Chika insisted that Riko pursue that which she loves. Because while she had learned to love Uchiura, Uranohoshi, the sea, school idols, and Aqua, she knew that Riko loved the piano just as much. So Aqua would perform together with Riko, their bond symbolized by the scrunchie she bought for all of them. With Yo standing by her side, Riko knew that Chika was in good hands. The three of them together formed a bond with the rest of Aqua that couldn't be found anywhere else. And that symbol of unity gave Aqua the victory they needed. And finally, Riko was able to face the piano with courage and love in her heart. It's Riko, along with Yo, who plays that role of support that Chika needs whenever she's down. It's through her fresh perspective that Riko can offer Chika a view that differs from her own. After all, Chika was the one who believed in Riko when she never believed in herself. So in return, if Chika was only ever going to believe that she was normal, worthless, and a failure, it would be Riko who told her that it was no one but that normal girl who saved her when she was in the dark. It was no one but Chika who showed Riko the door to her dreams and gave her hope that she could find her love again. It's this role of support that is so important to the events of Love Live Sunshine, and it's no wonder why Riko came from Otonokizaka yet knew nothing of school idols. Chika was trapped in believing that she could only shine if she followed after Muse. But Riko, carrying that connection, gave her a different path, because it wasn't Muse that inspired Riko, but rather the words and passion that this girl who doubted herself had that changed her.
私、自分が選んだ道が間違ってなかったって心の底から思えた。辛くてピアノから逃げた私を救ってくれたチカちゃんたちとの出会いこそが奇跡だったんだって。だから勝ちたい。ラブライブで勝ちたい。この道でよかったんだって証明したい。今を精一杯全力で心からスクールアイドルをやりたい。
There is one last thing I feel is a bit silly, yet still important to mention: her fear of dogs. It's played off as a gag, but considering how important it is in the Yohane episode, there's another meaning you can take from it. Riko often says that her fear of dogs is based on the appearance they have, while everyone else is able to calmly approach them. But as Yohane entrusted Lilaps to her, Riko slowly learned to break that barrier down. And after talking with Yohane and Chika about the hidden powers that connect people together through mysterious means, the implication is clear. To believe in the unknown is scary. To look into the abyss without knowing what lies within is terrifying. And for Riko, who never knew what it was like to feel average, it was only through a connection that she was able to see the light. It was through meeting Chika, Yo, and the rest of Aqours that this girl from the school that housed the miracle was able to find their own shine. In essence, Riko being from that school that connected Chika to her inspiration and being the key to starting Aqours' journey was nothing short of a miracle. Without Riko, the name Urano Hoshi would have never been immortalized in time. And had it not been for the girls who turned her head to the light, she would have never regained her shine. After all, it took just a change in perspective, a different view. This is Sakurauchi Riko, the miracle from Otonokizaka who, through her will to connect and walk into the unknown, found her shine with others by her side. Thank you for watching another video in the Love Live Analytical series. Yes, I am going to be talking about Nijigaku. In fact, there's a video coming out tomorrow, hopefully, that I feel you guys should be excited for. By the way, these videos wouldn't be possible without my patrons, namely people like Flarbu, Andrew, Courtney, Couch, Natty, Mr. Cynical, and thanks Nitrad. If you want more information on videos coming out, you can always follow me on Twitter and check out my Discord. And if you don't want to support me on Patreon, you can always donate to my coffee. Also, my script for this video is also available on my website, which you should find in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.